Hey, yo, shout out to that beat, man. I like it, man. That's cool. Hey, thanks for the intro. Thanks for being here, guys. It's Rico Knows. I am starting a little early today, and the reason for that is we have a live stream tonight. So I want to take a little bit of break. I've been working all day, working on the chart for Saturday, trying to do my best. Hey, so last night there was a football game, and it was South Alabama obliterating App State. And I know there's some people on the internet who think, Rico, I pay for your picks. You picked App State minus 7.5. Don't flip-flop now. You're a loser. And you lost. And what I want to say to those people is, please stop paying me. Stop paying me if you're an MVP and you think I picked App State minus 7.5. And that's what you tailed. People who blind tail the chart lose every single day. And you lose in life. I bet you lose at everything you've ever done. I bet you've never succeeded because you never went that extra step. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, there was always some kid in the library reading the back of books when the rest of us were reading the entire book, and he was just trying to do a book report on the Cliff Notes while I'm digging deep in the encyclopedia and the Dewey Decimal System, and I'm memorizing almanacs. Like, we're just different levels to this thing. So if I make a 27-minute video about a football game, it would behoove you to watch the video. It's in your best interest to watch the video. Now, even if you don't watch the whole video, I try to be as straightforward and to the point as possible. And I'm going to pull something up right now. And I'm going to make sure, before I pull it up on the screen, I'm going to show you guys something. And this is for everybody's education here. When you look at this chart, this is last week's chart. Last week's chart of locks, leans, all this stuff. And then these are the money line. I want you to understand the different sections. This is the Moneyline Talent chart predictions. I did a talent chart before the season. That chart tells me who's going to win games. And this is how accurate it is. It went 8-3 last week. It's pretty damn good. But down here is the thing we're most proud of. Down here is when I pick an underdog to win the game, not cover the spread, win the game, we're sitting at 63%. Oh, by the way, this chart up here, after 3 weeks, it's at 70%. This one, though, this ain't even picking against the spread. This is way more than picking against the spread. This is picking underdogs to win money line. When people say, oh, Rico, you ain't 61% against the spread. I don't believe you're 61% against the spread. Well, my leans are 62% against the spread this year, just to be clear. But underdogs, money line, 63% against the spread. 63.5, more than 63.5. Oh, this can't be true. I need receipts. They're right fucking here, and there's MVPs everywhere letting you know. Now, that being said, when I make a video during the week, I will make the video and I will tell you guys something like this. Let me try to paraphrase or verbatim say what I said in the video. I will say this game would never make it on the chart, but it's here because I do every single weekday game. That's App State and South Alabama. This game would never make it on the chart. What that means is this particular game does not matter if it's up here on this chart in these two sections right here. If it's under locks or leans, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't be on this chart if it was a Saturday. But I put it on here because we have a little game on this server. We have a little game on this page where I will pick every single weekday game. Whether it's a lock or a lean, I will pick every single one. And then what I did was, for your reference and for your peace of mind, I checked the two teams and they went on the talent chart predictor. Once again, these two teams would never be on these charts if it was a Saturday. That means ignore this shit. Do not take this bet. It would never be on the chart if it was a Saturday, is what I said verbatim. I bring that up because, and I don't want to give away any picks here, so I'm pulling it off the chart. I want to show you guys something. Give me a second here. Because now you know what the chart looks like. And here was Thursday. This was the lean section. This was the talent chart section. And it said App State, App State. And this is what the MVPs who don't watch the videos go, Rico was on App State. Oh my God, we all missed. Rico was on App State. I start the video by telling you these things right here, these entries would never be on the chart. Meaning this does not matter. But you know what was on the chart down here on the bottom right? And I can't show it to you right now because it's on the actual chart. The money line. The underdog money line, that amazing thing that we're so proud of, was in that lower right section. That actually would make the chart. That would make the chart. Oh, and that's the section where I'm going 63.5% when picking an underdog to win money line. It's going to go up. We just got one. It's more than 63.5 now. I'd go put in the numbers and find out what it is. I go over there right now and put in a number. I haven't changed the numbers. I am now 15-8, and that is a whopping 65.2% when picking an underdog. 65% when picking an underdog to win the game. Not cover the spread. Win the game money line. That means Vegas got it wrong. And if you see that entry on the chart in the money line section, and then you watch the video. In the video, the entirety of the video, 27 minutes. You know who I'm talking about in the video? I'll tell you who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Gio Lopez, Fluff Bothwell, Devin Voicing. The whole video. I'm only talking about South Alabama props. I'm only talking about South Alabama players in the whole video. I don't mention anything to take over here. We don't take Aguilar's passing yards. We don't take Castle's rushing yards, Robinson's receiving yards. None of this. What can't you figure out? Clear as day what I'm saying. And then I tell you, hey, don't bet on this game. Do not bet that 7.5%. If you're going to make any bet, if you're going to make, and I very clearly state this, if you're going to make any bet pertaining to the outcome of this game, the only bet to make is South Alabama money line. It's plus 200. It's a value bet, and it's one you have to make. And shout out to the MVPs that made it. Shout out to the MVPs that trusted the process and made that bet. And I said, oh, and if you want to bet on this game, another intelligent way to do this is take South Alabama plus 14.5. That's a good idea because they're the underdogs. Go ahead and tease it all the way to 14.5, and then we'll take an over-under. But let's take the under because I believe in these defenses. By the way, the under hit. The under hit. Dominated last night. MVPs went out and won a ton of money. Fluff Bothwell, freshman running back. I told you he's a man amongst boys. 2 touchdowns. It was a plus 900. I'm scrolling through the chart in the middle of the video. I just go, hey guys, nobody's going to score 2 touchdowns. Don't bet on any of these receivers to score 2 touchdowns. None of them did. I said, don't bet on any of these receivers to score 2 touchdowns. And then right as I scroll past it, I go, hold on, what was that? And I scroll back up. Seriously, I'm narrating the whole video for you. I scroll down, and then I scroll back up. And I'm like, wait, they got Fluff Bothwell at plus 950, plus 900, plus 1,000 in other books for 2 touchdowns? Oh, these guys don't know what they're doing. That guy's going to get 2 touchdowns. You got to put money on that. You got to bet on that. Does that sound like I'm telling you to take App State? If I'm telling you this guy's going to score 2 touchdowns? I don't know what's wrong with you guys. This is why the experienced MVPs say they don't even want to see the chart. They just want to watch the video and hear the analysis. And they want to hear the inflection in my voice and the enthusiasm. They don't want to see the chart. New MVPs who don't have a fucking clue what they're doing will come to the server every single day and go, hey man, where are the picks? Hey, where are the picks, man? I need to see these picks. Hey, what's your record against the spread, Rico? Stop worrying about my record against the spread. My record against the spread is irrelevant. I know how good I am. I know how good I've done 500 games for you guys. We're over 61% lifetime. My record against the spread is not in question at all. You know what you need to ask yourself? You know what's the more interesting question? What's your record against the spread? If it's not 60%, you need to be an MVP. You want to improve your record against the spread? Become an MVP. Stop asking me my record against the spread. I can go out and pick underdogs to win the game 65% of the time. You can't argue that shit. There's nothing to talk about. This ain't even covering the spread. This is way bigger than that. It's money line. You don't have to bet anything else on the chart. Just bet those underdogs that are going to win the game, and you'd be beyond wealthy. What's your record against the spread? My record against people like you is undefeated. Get off my platform. Now, we had another snafu with the MVPs today. Shout out to these MVPs. They couldn't find this video right here. I made a video 30 minutes long for tonight's 3 games. I posted it yesterday. Tried to get ahead of the curve, be proactive, tried to beat some of these lines before they move. Posted it. It has 14 likes, over 1,600 views. By the way, the average view duration is 63%. So some of you MVPs don't watch the damn videos. And that's why you don't win any money. But this video has 1,600 views up to this point. This was earlier in the day. And I got MVPs spamming me that they can't see the video. It's not posted. They can't find it. I'm telling you, I got so many messages about it. And I said the video for Friday's game was posted yesterday. I have several MVPs asking for today's picks. The video has been posted for 24 hours. Scroll down, just like I just scrolled up. I got dudes telling me it's not here. Then never mind, they found. But when I tell you they're spamming it, there's so many comments in here of saying don't see it at all. Don't see it. I can't find it. I'm looking and can't find it. Listen, guy, I can't do this for you, bro. Me neither. It's not labeled or anything. I've been looking since this morning. I don't know what you guys do for a living, but I hope nobody depends upon you in any way, shape, or form. I'm serious. I had to provide a screenshot. I had to provide a screenshot to let them know this shit exists. And it's been posted for 24 hours. These are MVPs. I brag about how smart you guys are. Can't find a damn video? Can you repost it, Rico? It takes 20 minutes to process the video because I record everything with a 34-inch screen monitor, and the website takes longer. If I had 27-inch screen monitors, it would take 30 seconds, but it takes 20 minutes for them to process these videos. You want me to move the video? It's going to take me half an hour to move the video for your lazy ass who can't scroll down. Fix yourself. Fix yourself. Shout out to all the MVPs. Shout out to everybody on Patreon. They're getting everything spoon-fed to them. Hey, we're here at the water, Rico. How do I swallow? Ask your mother, bro. Let's talk about some injuries. Chris Hilton looks like he's probable against UCLA. I don't believe it. He hasn't played at all this season. They don't need him, but let's go do it. Eli Stowers, now looking probable against Missouri. Congratulations. We'll see how that works out. Vandy's severely outmanned. And then the one I want to talk about is Jacoby Criswell. Jacoby Criswell will be the starter for North Carolina. I want you guys to know this is an upgrade at the quarterback position for North Carolina. Okay, Jacoby Criswell has been around college football for a very long time. He is still learning their offensive scheme there at North Carolina. But when he was at North Carolina for 2 or 3 years, he was backing up NFL guys. So he couldn't start over Sam Howell. He couldn't start over, these guys that were first-round draft picks, and he just kept sitting on the bench. Yes, he went to Arkansas, sat the bench behind KJ Jefferson. But he's back, and now he's the starter, and he played well in their last game. They're still not incorporating their wide receivers the way I want them to, but I think he gives them the best chance to win their games and win their games handily. And they're going to play a team in JMU that I think is very underwhelming. I had a guy write to me. He says he's an MVP. I had a guy write to me on Twitter, and he asked me about this game. Number one, I don't know if you're an MVP or not, but don't ask me about individual games. I go over every single game on the slate on Saturday during the live stream at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Discord server with the MVPs only live stream. And you MVPs who don't show up to that, you have yourself to blame when you're losing money. The MVPs who show up to the live stream, they win the most money, man. And I know them all. It's the same couple hundred dudes I see all the time. Yes, there's thousands of you, but the same couple hundred are good at what they do. And that's why they're here year round. The rest of you guys are just fucking flash in the pan, bro. These guys are movies. You guys are a snippet. Just letting you know. You motherfuckers are the chorus. These dudes are a whole song. Jacoby Criswell is him. But nonetheless, there's this guy talking to me, and he's like, what do you think about this game? I think JMU, coached by Bob Chesney, I'm a really big fan, and I think they're being undervalued. And dude, when you ask me questions, guys, the last thing you should ever do is try to impart knowledge upon me when you're asking me the question. Like, if you have analysis or any input, don't give it to me. If you want my answer, my unbiased answer, ask the question and wait for my response. And then you can apply whatever knowledge you've obtained and apply it to my answer and see if it makes sense for you. But when you start a question and then you try to layer it with all this information, it doesn't impress me. I don't want to talk ball with you. I got work to do. I want to hang out with you and write you back and be like, hey man, really good stuff, man. I was just thinking the same thing. And I was looking at Rico. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm busy. I had 134 teams to study. I got to go study injury reports and depth charts and matchups and all kinds of shit. And you're sitting here talking to me about nonsense. So I write back to him. I say, hey, bro, like, if you're an MVP, show up Saturday. If you're an MVP, show up Saturday and ask the question. Or listen to my analysis on the matchup in the game. And if you don't agree, fade me. If you don't agree, don't try to impart knowledge on the whole group. Don't try to teach me anything. It's not sports debate, bro. You pay me for a service. I'm providing the service. Don't try to refine the service. If it's not up to your standard, leave. I promise you, it's beyond your expectations. But when dudes start writing me these long-ass messages, and then my response to him was, show up Saturday, and he goes, I understand you don't know. That's what he wrote. I understand you don't know. Same dude who offered me $50 for a shout out. Hey, Rico, I'm a bookie and I do my own sports book and I give my own picks in hockey and baseball. If you could just give me a shout out in your next video, that would be really cool, man. Help content creators, helping out other content creators. Just give me a shout out. I wrote him back and said, no. Oh man, that's crazy, man. I'm offering you $50 for a shout out. Dude, no. And now you're paying for my picks. And now you're trying to teach me sports? You guys are gross, bro. Sit back. Consume. You're a content consumer. I'm a content creator. You're a consumer. Consume the product, bro. You go to a fucking restaurant. You order lasagna. And you're like, hey, guys, it's missing an ingredient here. You guys might want to add something to this the next time. Hey, can I talk to the cook? I talked to the guy who created the menu. Hey, you guys got to have bagels on here. Bagels come from Italy. Yeah, I grew up in Italy. You got to add bagels. Dude, shut up. Clowns, bro. Shout out to Jacoby Criswell. I look forward to him demolishing JMU. Speaking of demolish, here's one for you. Siobhan Rell Jr., cornerback, ECU, injures and tears his ACL. And now look at this ESPN article, and they're like, he's the second best corner in the world. He's on everybody's draft board. All the scouts are on it. And now I got 1 million comments in my emails and in my DMs. Oh, Rico, the second best corner in the draft got hurt. Shut up. Have you evaluated all the corners? You don't even know all the corners. You don't even have a chart. You don't have a clue. He just read ESPN and went, oh yeah, they told me he's number 2, so he's number 2. You don't think for yourself. Do you do that in any other industry? I'm just curious. Do you do that like somebody says, the greatest movie of all time, and then you watch it and you're like, hey, I saw the greatest movie of all time. It was the greatest movie. This shit is subjective. It's weird to me. Only in sports will you read something and then come to me and start quoting his rankings and stuff. This dude was second team all conference in the American. In the group of 5. Oh, he has got a chance to beat Quinyon Mitchell. Oh, really? He's got a chance to beat Quinyon Mitchell. Okay. Has he ever done anything like that? No, but he's 6'3" and ran a 4.440 and went to JUCO and did. Shut up! The people who read stuff and then regurgitate it back to me are the most annoying. Because I do this for a living. I'm on the internet all day, bro. Like whatever you read, I read it too. I just don't let it influence me. That's the difference. I sit down and do analysis. Rico, how do you get all this right? Dude asked me earlier today on TikTok. He was like, Rico, are you Biff? Do you have the almanac? How did you get the game? How do you get all this right? And I was like, well, I do research. I watch the games. I watch all the players. It's not hard when you watch 2 players and you go, oh, that guy's better than that guy. It's not hard. You know what's harder? When you hear that guy's better than that guy. When somebody else tells you so-and-so's better than so-and-so. When you watch ESPN, look at this article right here. This article says, and I quote, he defied convention by staying at East Carolina this season, turning down lucrative opportunities to transfer to top programs in college football. Right? Scroll back. Let me scroll back up. Here we go. He earned second team All AAC honors last year, which put him on the radar of virtually every SEC and Big Ten team in the country. Can you believe that shit? You believe that right there? What about ACC team? It's East Carolina. What about the ACC teams? He wasn't on their radar? He wasn't on the Big 12 radar? He wasn't on any other conference radar. Just they had the nerve to write SEC and Big Ten team in the country. That's the shit we're dealing with here. Pete Thamel, this is your guy. Pete Thamel said it. Pete Thamel said he's the best corner in the world. Unfortunate that he got injured. But was he impacting ECU's win-loss total? Didn't ECU just lose to App State? And App State just had a career high 424 passing yards against them. Joey Aguilar threw for 400 yards on the second best corner in the world. Sometimes you guys, man, at some point you just got to stop, man. You got to stop repeating shit. Stop being a parrot. Stop being a parrot. These are puppets and sheep. And it's disgusting. I'm going to talk about these results. Notre Dame. Coming out, punching Purdue in the mouth. This is one of the more impressive wins I've seen in a while. Purdue, I was really high on Hudson Card and the way he played in his first game. It was week 2, really. His first game, and then nothing. Nothing. Looked terrible in this game. No semblance of offense whatsoever. And Riley Leonard finally looked like him. But I'll tell you guys this. There's a lot of Notre Dame fans that still want Angeli starting. Because at least Steve Angeli can throw 2 receivers. This guy did it in the bowl game, and he got on the field, and he started slanging that rock better than Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard, though, rushed for 100 yards and can beat you with his legs. Riley Leonard looked great. Running the ball for sure. Jeremiah Love continues to look dominant. Shout out to Price for getting some carries, but Jeremiah Love looks like another level running back. I think Jeremiah Love has the capability to be pretty damn good next year. You're going to say, what about this year? What about this year? No, he's fine this year. I'm just saying, like, he could be amazing. Receiving, I'm not impressed with this wide receiver room. It's unfortunate, and it is the receiver's fault. It's not all their fault. But Riley Leonard can't find them. They can't get any separation. They don't get open. I don't like it. Probably the worst receiving room of any elite team, if you think Notre Dame's elite. I personally don't. Defense played lights out. Defense played great. Watch the tape. Fast. Disciplined. Not fooled by anything. Out there doing it. And they shut down some guys that I thought could go out there and get some yards on them. Jamal Edrin. Denylin. nah. Notre Dame looked great. UMass, absolutely terrible. Some of the worst football you'll ever watch is UMass. And UMass plays an FCS team this week, and I think they're like 20-point favorites. And I'm just wondering, like, do you guys understand how bad these players are? Do you understand how bad this offensive line is? They're not getting it done. There's always something going wrong with UMass. Very terrible football. Don Brown, God bless the doctor, the Blitz, their head coach, Don Brown, former defensive coordinator at several schools, Michigan and Arizona. But I think the game's passed him by. I don't think he's innovative enough, hasn't found the right people on offense. They got nothing, bro. They got nothing. They're missing 2 field goals in this game. They're just terrible. Mistake prone like crazy. No running game whatsoever. The offensive line's the worst. Worst offensive line in the FBS for sure. UConn played their hearts out. It's a damn shame they couldn't win. Shout out to Nick Evers for coming back from injury, from a concussion protocol, taking the job back from Fagnano. And Fagnano played great, last week? And here we have Nick Evers coming out and actually giving them a chance. But Cam Edwards, as good as you play, you can't be fumbling. Keep it together. The one thing I wish for UConn is that they would be more consistent on offense. Some weeks they're on, some weeks they're off. Sometimes we'll see Cam Edwards not do well. We'll see Darrell Robinson do well. It's like, I don't like this hot hand, cold hand thing. We need stars. And you need to be able to stop Star Thomas. Star Thomas is not an exceptional running back, and he's running all over you. That's bad. Okay? That's really bad, if you ask me. Skylar Bell, the Wisconsin transfer, bee's knees, bro. He's always going to get his yards. I want you guys to keep looking for him to get his yards. Check every sports book you can find and look for Skylar Bell. He's going to get about 60 yards most games. So he's getting a lot of targets. He's the only guy that knows how to run routes and get open. Poor Josiah Gates, man. He's getting no love. TJ Sheffield, no love. And these are guys that transferred from other schools where they thought they would be the star player here, and they're not. The only alpha male in the room is Skylar Bell. Speaking of alpha male, Jaden McDonald really impressed me. This is Troy's leading tackler from last season, so it's nice to see these guys come out and play. Jack Barton actually was all over the field. Jelani Stafford, former 300-pound running back from high school, all over the field, and these are defensive linemen. They're doing great. So I was really impressed with the way they're playing. I need Ronte Jones to step up. I really do. There's just certain people that need to make plays, but good nucleus up front, and they're competitive with Duke. And Duke, we know their defensive line is amazing. Like, we know it's pretty good. I shouldn't say amazing. We know it's pretty stout and mean, and they only got 1 sack in this game. So that's pretty good for UConn's offensive line to be pretty decent. They were decent, averaging 5 yards a carry, and it wasn't even like a long run or anything. It was just consistently moving the chains, consistently being competitive in this game. UConn did not look bad. Getting blown out by Maryland in week 1, I think you do something like this against Duke, it's encouraging. I just wish they would find a way to win. Looking at this week's matchups, you have Notre Dame at Miami of Ohio. That's going to be a very boring game. Defense is pretty stout for Miami of Ohio. Notre Dame should come out here, kind of struggle to score and be consistent. I like the under. No, I don't. 43.5. Oof. Ugh, that's way too low. I like the over than that. But I do like Notre Dame. 28 points feels like a big number too. Oh, no. I would stay away from it. Central Connecticut, UMass. It's not on the chart, but it's really close to being on the chart, especially if you want to tease this up. But I think Central Connecticut can cover 21.5 points. Central Connecticut, first week, got blown the hell out. They lost by like 60. Then they found their starting running back. Then they found their team, and they've won the last 2 games. They beat Fordham, and they beat who else did they beat? They beat somebody else. Fordham and another team I've seen recently. They look good, man. They look fine. I think Central Connecticut's going to be competitive in this game, and I don't see UMass blowing them out like that. I don't. FAU is probably a little better than UConn, but look at that. UConn's the favorite. I have to go check the talent chart. That might get added to the chart. It's a little too close to try to bet on it. I wouldn't bet on stuff like this. And the reason I don't bet on these games, these independent ones here, like UMass and UConn, is because they're not consistent teams. So you'll get a different caliber of team every week. They'll play good against Duke, or they'll get blown out by 50. That's how UConn is. That's how UMass is. So can't bet on that kind of stuff. You'll lose your money. I'm going to jump to the chat real quick, and then I'll get back to the Mountain West here. But let me jump to the chat and interact with you guys tonight. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry, I got to find my chat box. Thanks for all the comments, questions, concerns. Hey, if you're on TikTok and you're watching, move over to YouTube. Drop it in the chat. I will get to you. Shout out to you guys. Bear with me. Sorry about that. I have the Discord server up. That's weird. Let me change my scene. There we go. All right. Shout out to everybody who's here. I want to interact with this and scroll it up. Boom! Josh Trainham is an MVP. Congratulations, Josh Trainham became an MVP. Marco LeQuinn, he's also an MVP. That's why his name isn't green. Jalen Moss is him. Shout out to Jalen Moss. I will get to the Mountain West here shortly. Fresno State's finest. Willie Bobo says, let's hit the like, y'all. Hit the like button. That's true. Nobody really hits the like buttons because you're supposed to hit it before you join the live stream. Or you can hit it after, but you got to like tap your screen and do some things, or leave the show and then like it and then come back in. It's all good. No problem starting early. I have high school football. Oh, there you go, Willie Bobo. Don't miss the high school football, man. Tactical Orange says, I only look for Rico's mannerisms. What Tactical Orange is talking about is MVPs who watch me on live stream, who watch me when I'm recording my videos, and when I'm breaking down games. They'll see me and I'll be sitting there and I'll just go, what the hell? Vegas got it wrong. You know, I'll start screaming and yelling and doing things. That's what MVPs are looking for. And that doesn't happen every day. That doesn't happen in every video. That doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, when I can't even begin to tell you what the hit rate is on when I lose my shit. Like when I really lose it. And I say they got it wrong, guys, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Go sell your car. Put it on this. Like I don't miss in that regard. And that's why Tactical Orange is saying what he's saying. Shout out to him. Bro told me to fix a parlay, and I cashed it out and changed it in Rico I Trust. This is true. He posted a parlay on Discord earlier today. I liked the parlay. There was one concern I had, and I said, hey, man, if I was you, I would redo this bet, but take out one of these legs in your parlay. And I don't always do that, and I hope it works out. And he trusts me, and I appreciate MVPs who trust me. LaWayne Harris says, hey, Rico, I just want to say your knowledge and expertise is unmatched. Just to know these players beyond transfer portal is elite status. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, LaWayne Harris, it's not up for debate anymore. I'm pretty sure there's not a single person in this world who knows college football better than me. There's just not. It's impossible. I study it 16, 20 hours a day. I'm not exaggerating. 16 to 20 hours a day, I'm studying rosters, personnel, outcomes, everything. So, and my ability to retain information is immense. So for one person to try to go bar for bar with me on college football is not realistic. I feel like I'm the best in the world. And I think I'm compensated nicely for being the best in the world. I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I posted a video today on TikTok, and some people think it's a flex. It's not. It's really, I have some friends that are content creators, and they're trying to do this for a living. And I just had my first $40,000 month. And I just want to tell you guys that I never imagined that I would be there. I remember when I used to say, like, hey, I'm going to make $50,000 a month. I'll quit being an MVP. I'll quit being a capper, and I'll move to Vegas and fix the sports books for $50,000 a month. You know, yesterday's price is not today's price. Obviously, it's gone up. But to be able to sit here and do what I love and do it in the comfort of my home at my own pace with no boss, and to help people make money, oh, man, that's the greatest feeling in the world. It's the greatest feeling. Now, there's trolls on TikTok who don't know how real it is, and they don't understand the movement. But you guys being MVPs, being a part of this is real. And I know some of you guys by name because you've been with me for over a year now. To me, you guys are family. Like that's what it is, right? So I appreciate all you guys as well. Thank you for noticing, though, LaWayne Harris. You are fairly new. I've seen you in the last couple of weeks, and I appreciate you. Armin's an annual MVP. Armin don't mess around. He don't pay monthly. Armin paid for the whole year in advance. Most people do. Shout out to Patreon. You can be an annual member. Show up. You get 2 months for free. Armin says, good to see you, Rico. App State pissed me off last night. Got an alarm for 6 a.m. tomorrow. Hey, he ain't missing it. Unfortunately for Armin, he lives on the West Coast, so he has to get up at 6 a.m. to watch the 9 a.m. live stream that I do on the Discord server. It's only for MVPs. You have to be connected. So you can be an MVP on Patreon and YouTube. That doesn't mean anything. You have to connect your Patreon or your YouTube account to the Discord server. And there's a way to do that. There's a video that shows you how to do it on Patreon. I have it pinned at the very top. And then on YouTube, it's just easy. It's self-explanatory. You go to settings, connections, and you're connected. But Patreon's a little different. YouTube's really easy. Patreon's just a little bit different. Not much. Thousands of people have figured it out, but they're still 3 or 4 people every day who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Trust me. We just get a bunch of messages on the Discord server that say test, 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 and they don't make it. But Armin's saying he's got to get up early for that MVP-only live stream where I talk about every single game on the slate for Saturday. David in Arizona says, some MVPs are better than others. David in Arizona is my favorite MVP. He is the most active. David in Arizona is the most active YouTube MVP. We only have about 200 to 300 MVPs on YouTube compared to the thousands we have on Patreon. But the 200 to 300 guys on YouTube are super quiet. I don't know if any of them watch the videos. I don't know what they're doing. They're chilling. They never complain. They're just, some of them are on the server, some aren't. They never show up to Discord. Dave in Arizona is in everything. David's at every live stream, every podcast, every video, every recording. David's everywhere. And I'm pretty sure David's doing good. I'm pretty sure David's making money because he cares. There you go. Joseph Stewart says, Rico, are you voting for Kamala? I don't vote. I'm not very political. I will tell you guys that while I served in the Army, I served under 4 different presidents. And it didn't matter who was in office. As a leader in the Army, I made sure that I always supported the commander-in-chief, whoever it was. And I don't do that. Let me rephrase. I do that with no hesitation. Nowadays, I'm not too concerned with it. I'll live with the consequences or the ramifications of the results. That's what it is. If I don't like it, I have the luxury to leave the country, as many do. But I really have the luxury. I can leave if I want, and I'll be just fine. So I think I'm gonna be fine. Happy Hour says he wanted to collaborate with Rico. Yeah, no, I never do that. Never do that. I'm independent 100%. Rico is heated. Y'all better stop playing. Thank you. I got Ashton Genty on my parlay for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Portland State has allowed 270 yards per game. LaWayne Harris, that's pretty cool, man. What I would tell you is when you run into games like that, you want to remember a couple things. Is in blowouts, the starters get pulled out. And FCS teams, those are irrelevant games. It's not a rivalry game. It's not a game where they're trying to prove a point. It's not a game where they're trying to win and he'll be in the fourth quarter in a close game in a shootout and they need him. So getting 250 it could be difficult. It could be difficult because he's not playing the full game. You have to look at who they gave those 270 yards to per game and how it was. If it was one running back, if it was over the course of 4 quarters, Ashton Genty will not be playing 4 quarters against Portland State. I know Portland State. I know their offensive coordinator. He follows me on TikTok. We talk in the DMs. So I have nothing negative to say about Portland State. I just know that they're a struggling team this year, and they don't score much. So that could be out of hand really early, and Ashton Genty might not play the whole game. Breakin says, Rico, saved up to where I could get it twice and just became an annual MVP on Patreon. Look at this, dude. Look at this. Breakin's saying something pretty smooth there. He's saying so I can get it twice. I have a rule. I don't buy anything unless I can afford 2 of them. Remember that. That's how I became wealthy. I don't spend money on anything unless I can buy 2 of them. If I can't afford 2, I can't afford 1. I want you to think about that next time you go buy a new car or a TV or clothes or a watch. If you can't afford 2, you can't afford 1. Use that rule. You'll be better off. Shout out to you, Breakin. Thank you for becoming an annual MVP. Central just beat St. Francis by 7. There you go, K-Saddy. Thank you so much for reminding me. Kairos says, will you block me if I make a meme of you talking about how smart the MVPs are some days versus dumb others? I wouldn't block you, Kairos. I think it's funny. Some days you guys are intelligent as hell. Some days you can't find a video that's posted on the page for over 24 hours. I don't know what to say to you guys. Donnie says, what's up, Rico? Shout out to Magdalena, top 5 in receiving. He's talking about a small, crafty little wide receiver from Fresno State. And yes, he's very good. He's very good. And you know what's crazy is I don't think they thought he was very good. That's why they brought in so many transfers in the receiver room. And he's still cream rising to the top. So shout out to him. Even if it don't work out, Rico is the GOAT. Remember, kids, some MVPs are better than others. Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. You know what's crazy? It's like, I tell you guys, it's a menu. I give you a menu of picks every week that you have to choose from. And I tell you, don't pick them all. Don't try to eat everything. You're not going to like everything on the menu. You ever been to a restaurant and you don't like fucking eggplant? You don't like stuffed mushrooms or something like shit. Like, I don't know what the hell they're serving. I'm like, dude, where is the steak on this menu, right? I'm just looking for steak every week. I like a cheeseburger. I like something dependable and a cheeseburger. So when I tell you it's a menu, and just you got to pick wisely, people get so upset with that. Oh man, now you give us picks and you're telling us they don't even get hit and all this stuff. It's like, man, if you went to a restaurant, would you ask the waiter, what should I order? You know how many times I've asked the waiter, what should I order? Probably less than a dozen times in my life have I asked the waiter what should I order. And you know how many times I've ordered what the waiter said to order? 0 times. I can remember I walked into a restaurant. I asked the waitress, hey, what should I order here? And she goes, oh, I love the calamari. And she had no idea I hate fucking, what is it, squid or something? I don't want no calamari, bro. She started telling me how great this is over here. And I'm going, what? I'll never order that. That's the same way I feel when I'm providing picks for games. You should never ask me, Rico, what's your best bet? What's the best bet? What's the best thing on this menu? Bro, look at the menu. Pick the one you like the most. Leave me out of it. I have no idea what you like, bro. Yeah, you should order this. I don't like Chinese food. I once went to a bar and ordered stir fry. I'm serious. I went to a bar and ordered stir fry. It was the grossest thing ever. And the waitress came to me. She goes, you don't come to this bar and order stir fry. Just a lesson learned. That's how it works for you guys. I give you the chart. You go and bet. Who do you bet on? Sam Houston? Lesson learned. You bet on Rice? Lesson learned. Leave me out of it, bro. Some MVPs are better than others. Grass Warrior says, I took Oklahoma before I seen your video. They're coming for blood. Grass Warrior, we don't ever talk about, well, I don't know what video you're referring to. You're talking about a TikTok video? If you watch the TikTok video of me making picks and you think that's what we're doing on Patreon for MVPs, I have many times over, I have told the MVPs, do not watch my TikTok videos. Those are made for engagement. Those are made for trolls. Those are made for kids. None of that shit is real. I don't even know what I say in those videos. I have to go back and watch them over to know what I said in the video. Understand what I'm saying? I have no clue what I'm guessing on those things. I actually have this pad of paper here. I have it right here. I'll show you. And I have to go back and watch it over and like take notes on each screenshot of what my record is on those screenshots, because I don't have a clue what I said. It takes me like 10 minutes to go back and rewatch it. I don't know what I'm saying in that video. I don't care. That's not what, all my effort is with the MVPs. I've had a few MVPs go, hey Rico, I was watching the video and you said so-and-so, but in our video you said this. I'm like, bro, you pay for that video. You might want to trust what you're paying for. Don't watch that other shit. Don't do it, bro. That's the wildest thing you've ever seen. Like, do you guys really watch my TikTok videos and think they're real? Like, is your bullshit meter can't go off? Like, you can't tell? You don't have any sense of sarcasm? None. You guys can't read a sarcasm meter? Dude, I made a video last week. I was like, Jake Haener is the greatest quarterback ever. He just led these guys to victory. Jake Haener did 2 knees at the end of the game. He didn't play. Dudes are writing in the comments, oh my God, he doesn't even know Jake Haener's not good. He didn't play. Dude, Jake Haener's a bum. I disowned Jake Haener a year ago when he got suspended for steroids. But none of these losers watch that video, so they think I still like the guy. So I'll make a video pretending like I like him. None of that shit is true. You ever watch my draft content on YouTube? Watch the draft content on YouTube. And when CJ Stroud gets drafted and I do my evaluation of the draft class, listen to what I say about CJ Stroud. Very positive. Oh, Rico hates CJ Stroud. He missed. He doesn't know what he did. Dude, watch the content. The real content. Be an MVP. Watch the real content. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know it's not Mountain West, but so fired up to watch some Pat Bryant tonight. Good luck, Connor. Shout out to you. Rico, can you shout out my buddy? His name is Lappy. Ryan Burnett. Get a new friend, bro. 10 says, what's up, Rico? Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I do work hard, and I will keep it up for you guys. I will keep it up. That's what I told her. That's what I told her. Okay. Warren Wilkins says, I watch every video. I like that, man. I make every video. I'm glad you watch them. I make them. Happy Hour says, I watch every video. Knowledge is power. It's half the battle for sure. BP the Great says, yeah, I couldn't find the video, but I did, though. I hate you, BP. I hate you guys, man. Anybody who can't slow down and watch the videos because they're going too fast through life, they're like, I can't find the video. And they just start panicking, start writing me. Bro, I'm busy. Sending me DMs and shit. Can you imagine 1,000 people start sending you DMs because they can't find a video? Can you imagine what that's like? When I pride myself on interacting and replying back to everybody in a timely manner. It's impossible. And I'm working on another chart, and I'm working on the next project, the next video. Like it doesn't just fall out of the sky. All the information I spew out in a video, it doesn't just come to me through osmosis. It's wild, man. I gotta work. And half the time I gotta work I can't connect. Can you help me? Motherfucker, I made a video. Talk to somebody who can. It's crazy how a lot of people discredit your knowledge and experience. Luane Harris, there's not a lot of people, man. It's just teenagers. The people you see that think I don't know what I'm doing or try to discredit my knowledge and experience, it's just teenagers. That's it. It's just a bunch of high school kids with a cell phone. They don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, they're irrelevant. Wouldn't hire those kids. They smell like BO. They need to learn how to shower and pop their pimples. Like they don't really move me like that. 10 says calamari is fire, Rico. You're the reason they still sell that shit? You're the reason, bro? Stop it. Thanks for the feedback. You got it, man. Good luck. Hey, Rico, do you do something MVP-wise after college football season? This is crazy. Oh, man. Tuber guy. Thanks for the question. So, yes, I do UFC fights every single week, just like we got fights tomorrow. I do fights every single week. Fights have a higher priority than college football because the UFC MVPs stick around year round. The college football guys are here. They'll be here for 4 months, and then they're gone. The UFC MVPs will be here year round and make money year round because I know the UFC just as well, if not better, than college football. The only difference is UFC is a little more predictable and volatile. It's a little more hit or miss. Like, there's no gray area really with UFC. It's very contrast, right? You either win or you don't. There's no spread. Well, there is if you go and do those bets, the -3.5 spreads. I don't even talk about those really. But anyways, so yeah, I do UFC all off season. I do March Madness. I do college football futures. So starting around May, we start our futures videos where I start doing a deep dive on every single team. And this is essential to being a good gambler. If you want to win in college football bets, you need more knowledge, more information. I do a 30-minute, at a minimum, 30-minute deep dive on every single team in America. I do one team a day, and I do them all off season. And when I do these things, I give you the win-loss total. And I give you a rundown on the roster and how I feel they're going to do this year. And I wait till after the spring transfer portal cycle closes. I wait till I can evaluate all the spring football games. And then I start doing the videos. And they really, really fucking were sweet this year. It enables us to make a lot of money. I can go look at the sports books. They miss on a lot of futures bets because they have the over-under incorrectly. They don't evaluate the transfer portal correctly or the teams. Vegas just doesn't know. I'll give you an example. I made a video on Indiana. They had Indiana at 5.5 wins. And I started screaming at everybody, we need to sell our cars and put all our money on Indiana. They're going to win more than 6 games. And Indiana's going to win more than 6 games. They're already 3-0, working on 4-0 right now this week. So Indiana, that was the easiest one in the world for me. And Vegas lost their ass. And I think I put 10 units on that. Another one was Vanderbilt. They had Vanderbilt at 2.5 wins. I said, guys, this is wrong. Please get on this as fast as you can. It's 2.5 wins. Put 10 units on it. They got it wrong. Vanderbilt's going to win 3 games. They've already won 2, and they still play Ball State coming up. So you have to just know every team in America, and the only way to do that is be an MVP all year round. yes, it'll feel like you're paying for something in the off season. You think it's not worth it. UFC fights are so worth it. We make so much money in the UFC. I'm at 82% on my locks in the UFC. 82% in my locks in the UFC, and my parlays, I believe, are like 58% or something like that. So parlays and props, so mid 50s, high 50s, somewhere in there. But you got to understand that people who need instant gratification and they want to bet on baseball, they want to bet on basketball, they want to bet on NBA, they want to bet on college basketball, they want to bet on like something every day, those people need to go away. That's not what it is here. I need a week of genuine analysis and comparing things, and then we do it once a week. So Saturday's our big day. Saturday's our fight night. Saturday's our college football day. And that's how it works. So here's what happens. Saturday's very difficult because there's like 70 games on a Saturday. And I have to assess all those games all week long. And I'm doing them little by little every single day. Like today, if you watch me on the Discord server, I was assessing, I think I might have got through like 25 games today. But it's so much easier to get the weekday games right. Like yesterday, the App State South Alabama game. The reason I knew all the players so well and I get all the props right and I know what's going to happen is because I have like 8 hours to study that one game, or 16 hours to study that one game. On a weekend, I don't get that much time. On the weekend, I get 20 minutes. No, even less. Sometimes I get 5 minutes to evaluate a game and the matchups because there's so many. So I only can pick a few that I really, really believe in. And so some weekends are tough. But weekday games, man, I think last year at one point I was 21-3 against the spread on weekday games at one point. We just dominate weekday games. But yeah, I was on Miami win total before the season. Huge. I said Miami's winning 11 games, 10 games, whatever it is. I have Miami winning the ACC, all this stuff. I tell the MVPs this in the offseason, and we already knew this was going to happen. We already knew Miami was going to go on this run. We already knew they were going to win this many games. So I also tell you when I think Florida State's going to suck, or I think Michigan's only winning 9 games. Like, those things are really on video all offseason long. That's what I do in the offseason. MVPs are making money all year round. MVPs who leave after the football season, I guarantee you they're losing money wherever they go. They don't understand. This is the greatest thing out there. This is why people pay for the annual membership, because you want every single week we do have picks. Every single week we have something to bet on. But you're going to make your money in spurts every Saturday, not every single day. You got to bet on it. If you have that itch and you need to bet on something every single day, get the fuck away from me. I don't even want you on my platform. I can't stand those guys. You know how many MVPs after we win all day Saturday, they lose all their money Sunday? You know how many MVPs win and get up on Saturday and then lose all their money Sunday? And then they write to me in the DMs like, hey, man, I really wish you picked the NFL, man. I really need your help with the NFL. No, you don't. You need help in your life. You need to learn how to enjoy athletic events without betting on them, because there's no reason to be betting on the NFL. Like, it's just unpredictable. Completely unpredictable. And anybody, well, I know who's going to win. I got a gut feeling about this. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Not a clue. No. Anyways, shout out to you guys. Willie Bobo says, can we have someone make a sign your friends don't know but Rico knows and post it at game day? That would be really cool. One day we will get a hashtag Rico knows at game day. Tactical Orange says, I agree, Willie. I need more Rico memes. I could try to make it happen during SEC Nation tomorrow, Bobo. There you go, Ty Owens. Shout out to you. Grass Warrior says, no, I know you do spreads. That's just where I found you. You just found the YouTube. Gonna be joining Patreon soon. There you go, Grass Warrior. Yeah, we use TikTok to meet people. There's 20-something, 30 people over here watching it right now. But I tell you guys the same thing every single day. Hey, TikTok, if you want to join the conversation and be a part of something, like, get over to YouTube and then maybe Patreon, but get over to YouTube and join the conversation. And you know how many of them move over? 0. Because they're teenagers. Because they don't know how to push a button and move over to a different app. Because they're just going to keep swiping. They're just looking for titties, bro. They're just going to keep swiping and just keep telling the girl, pop it, pop it, pop it. That's all they're doing. They're just children. They don't know how to act. Cam Lockridge will be the #1 corner in the country after this New Mexico game. If you do not become the number one corner in the country if you beat New Mexico. Yes, I saw that Indiana video, major hit. Thank you so much, Dwayne Harris. Yes, it was. Not even an MVP yet, but feel like I am with all the knowledge you give out on lives. Thank you so much, Donnie. I had no idea you're not an MVP. You're here all the time. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Shout out to you. It's true. Being off-season MVP, I put max units on Miami over, Indiana over, and I'm swimming in it. Look at Armin. Look at Armin. Armin, listen, he's telling you the truth, bro. We're going to get all our money back on our futures bets like a tax return. Like I heard a guy, we have a guy on the server. We used to have a guy that was an MVP. He's a professional gambler. Shout out to that loser. He bets so much money. He bets his unit size is $1,000 and he's rich. He bets $1,000 on everything. And he said, I'll never bet a futures bet when I could bet that money today and they could make money for me today. So I'm not doing futures bets, and that's why he left the server. Just look at him. You know that he made a new account, but his email address is still the same, bro. I saw his email address. He's an MVP today. He don't talk on the Discord server anymore. He don't give out picks. He don't act tough. He just stays quiet. But he's paying me again. He's paying me again. I don't care how rich you are, bro. You don't know what you're doing. Bum ass shit, bro. I'm never going to bet a futures bet. Well, that's how we're winning all our money for sure. That's the thing, Donnie. If you just watch the podcast, you'll make money. Yes, you will, Tactical Orange. Become one. You will not regret it. Infinite knowledge. Word. Shout out to you, Ty Owens. Rico told us Miami's the best team in the ACC. We got it at plus 350. Now Vegas wants to make it minus 110. Crazy, bro. You know, I have a parlay for the playoffs, and it's crazy. I have a parlay for the playoffs, and I think I have 5 units on it. And the playoff parlay is like Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia, and Ohio State. And it comes out to like plus 200. Yeah, something like that. I'm just saying. We did that on a futures video. College football future and playoff video was a masterpiece. Thank you so much, Dwayne Harris. Making them public nowadays, letting people watch them. If you have that kind of itch, it's probably time to call the hotline. Ugh. Hey, Rico. I know you know this, but the lines for tonight are jumping. Be ready for some more angry gamblers. I don't care. Thanks for the donation. I don't care. Vegas doesn't know, but Rico knows. So here's what happens. Those sports books, they're MVPs. They're MVP. They got employees that are MVPs, and they go and adjust. As soon as I make a video, they go and adjust. As soon as they find the video, they adjust. So the MVPs who couldn't find the video for Friday, they finally found it. And now they're adjusting. I don't care. We bet on it early. But they're adjusting. They do this all the time. I'll say, hey, guys, make this prop bet. And by the hour, that prop bet has moved like 5 yards. Happens all the time. It's moved a number of odds. It'll be like a minus 110. I'll talk about it. We look back. An hour later, it's minus 150. Happens all the time. Literally every week. Hey, Rico, I know you know this. Yep, good. Vegas doesn't know, but Rico knows. Everybody finding out about Braylon Allen last night. Rico told us last year he's an NFL player. TD Florida 2. Told you guys Braylon Allen in my early NFL draft video. He was my number 1 running back in the draft. And my second running back video, I dropped him down. Now everybody's finding out about Braylon Allen, but I've been on Braylon Allen for 3 years. Remember, this is a young man that started playing college football at 17 years old, started rushing for 1,200 yards in the Big Ten at 17 years old, played 3 years at Wisconsin, still left at 19 years old. He's very young. He's very strong. He's amazing. He's one of my favorite running backs, and it's a damn shame that everybody's going to pretend like they knew, say some bullshit. Like I've been talking about him for at least 2 years. Not just 1 year, 2 years. Gots to go, but can't wait to finish this at 1.5. Love the content, Rico. Shout out to you, K Saddy. Saddy's actual an annual MVP as well. K Saddy says finish it at 1.5. If you guys don't know what that means, all the MVPs should be watching the videos at 1.5 playback speed. That'll help you watch everything. Oh, I don't have time. Make time, bro. Money is time. Time is money. Make time. Listen to it while you drive. Listen to it while you eat. Listen to it while you sleep. Make time. You can do playback speed. Set it at 1.5. You can do that on YouTube. You can do that on Patreon. BBC Free says, thought on this parlay. Liberty, Minnesota, Southern Miss, Purdue. I don't have to read the rest of this. Become an MVP. I don't give out free advice like that. Meant number 1 in interceptions. My bad, Rico. Oh, okay. Shout out to you, Donnie. Shout out to you. I don't know if they're going to throw that much. let's get back to the chat and let's talk about the Mountain West. If you guys want to keep adding comments, questions, anything, put it in the chat. I'll get back to it after I talk about all the Mountain West teams. We do have a live stream tonight, a watch party. I think it starts at 7 or 7:30. So I got to get this show on the road and keep it going. UNLV, undefeated, probably deserved to be in my top 25. That was on me. But I'm still underwhelmed by UNLV. They still have problems. They won this game. They beat Kansas, played pretty solid defense, had some key turnovers. When the reality is Kansas should have won this game. There was a fumble at one point that Kansas didn't jump on, and they still were in this game. Kansas is a better team. UNLV is a better, they just found a better way to win. Here's my problem with UNLV. They can't throw the ball. Matthew Sluka can run. Matthew Sluka's a beast. I love the way he plays. He's my guy. Cannot throw. And it's going to hurt Ricky White all season long. It's going to hurt Jacob DeJesus all season long. These are both very good wide receivers. You can't get any production in this receiver room because the quarterback play is so bad. And at some point, you're not going to be able to go undefeated just running the ball like this. It's just not going to happen. Yes, they have a good offensive line, great coaching. They know their strengths. I'm very concerned with their ability to throw the ball. Defensively, Jalen Catalon is playing out of his mind. He's going to be first team all-conference for sure. Got another interception in this game. He's had several this season. He might be at 3 or 4. He might lead the country in interceptions. Jalen Catalon is him. Shout out to UNLV. Utah State playing well in this game. Remember, they got shut out the week before by USC 45-0. And then you show up to Utah and you play an inspired game. I loved it. I'm going to tell you that I made a video on Rasul Faison last year when he was the third string running back on this team. Think about that for a second. I was watching film on this team. Devon Booth was getting a lot of the carries. There's another guy getting carries. What's his damn name? Another JUCO running back. I can't remember his name right now. And then Faison was the third string running back. This was last year. But I didn't know who Faison was. So I started watching film on all the players on Utah State just out of nowhere, and I did a film review on Faison. And I said, guys, this is the best third-string running back I see around, him and Freddie Brock. This guy's a stud. And what's he do in this game? Oh, he just goes out there and rushes for 115 yards on 19 carries, averages 6 yards a carry against Utah's defense, Utah's vaunted front seven. Now, Utah State can't stop anything. That's fine. But my goodness, they had a rushing attack that is really respectable. And when you have wide receivers like Jalen Royals on the outside and Little Hestra, who just transferred in from Charlotte, you got players, man. You got something going here. So I think Utah State's got the goods. Bryson Barnes is so fast when he runs. He's fast. He's going to be a problem. They play Temple this week. The sports books put Temple at a 6.5-point underdog. I'm not going to go into much detail about it, but I'll give you a freebie, y'all. Utah State's going to win by 40. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Listen, the defense here, senior lad in defense. All these dudes are seniors. They've all been around a long time. Been playing a lot of college football. Been lifting weights for fucking half a decade. Seriously, 5 years lifting weights. This is a really decent team. They just ran into that upper echelon. And the gap between elite Power 5 teams or Power 4 teams and Group of 5 teams, that gap is enormous. So that's why you see these big blowouts. It's just because the transfer portal took all the NFL caliber players off the Group of 5 teams and moved them to the Power 4 teams. So the gap is huge. And here you have Utah State being competitive in this game, looking decent. I thought they looked fine. Only down by 3 at the half. Still scoring touchdowns into the third quarter. I'm cool with them, man. I'm excited for them. All right, so Brandon Lewis. I was wondering where you were at all season, but you're still there. There you are. There you are, Brandon Lewis. You've been missing. There you are, buddy. Brandon Lewis been playing shit for years. Been playing terrible for years. Then he started off this season, and for 3 games, he has looked flawless. He's been running the ball. He's hard to stop when he runs. But in this particular game against Minnesota, they got behind. They're down 20-0 at half, and they start trying to throw the ball. And when you start trying to throw the ball, because you got to catch up, Nevada has no chance of winning the game at that point. No chance of winning the game at that point. They can't throw. Brendan Lewis is not that kind of guy. He can run the rock. They can control it. They got to control the line of scrimmage. Couldn't do that. Darius Taylor's getting yards in chunks. Broke for 80 yards, but he's getting yards in chunks. They're just out there doing it. And I'm saying this about Minnesota. I'm disappointed in Minnesota because they still weren't able to throw the ball the way they envisioned in this game. Max Brosmer is one of the elite FCS quarterbacks, and I'm bringing this up for a reason. He's one of the elite FCS quarterbacks, transfers to the FBS, and you see the results. And they're not that great. And he had really good wide receivers, a really good offensive line, and he still didn't throw for 200 yards, still threw an interception, 1 touchdown. Like, it's not great. Nevada plays Eastern Washington this week. And Nevada's 10-point favorites over Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington does not have a better quarterback than Max Brosmer. They don't have a better offensive line. They don't have a better team. They don't have anything. Nevada's going to beat Eastern Washington and cover that spread of 10 points. They are. They're not going to be behind, so they're not going to be throwing 3 interceptions. They're going to have the lead. They've got Watts at linebacker. They got Drew Watts is better than anybody, like, on the field. I hope you guys are listening because I just gave that away for free. But I think Nevada wins against Eastern Washington by more than 10 points. They're a well-coached team. They're not going to have to throw the ball. And I already saw the best quarterback in the FCS, the national leader in the FCS. I already saw him against this defense. And he didn't look good. And he had, the best receivers you can have. Nevada's going to beat the brakes off of Eastern Washington. Beat the brakes. San Jose State. San Jose State, they fumbled in this game. How many times did they fumble? They fumbled in this game 4 times. They lost 3 of them. And they still won by 21 points. And it was a backdoor cover. They weren't covering this spread, and they covered it in the 4th quarter. I'm pissed because I had Kennesaw State covering this spread. Nonetheless, when I watch this game back, it's just the craziest thing. Kennesaw has no secondary, and the reason for that is they're starting free safety, who led the team in tackles last year. He hit the transfer portal, went to Georgia Southern. He's actually not starting at Georgia Southern, by the way. Then Chance Gamble was their best corner from 2 years ago. He also transferred, and he went to Georgia Southern. So their secondary doesn't have the players they need. But come on, man. You can't stop one guy. Just one guy. Nick Nash is not fast. He's a former quarterback, 6'3", got curly hair, tall guy, right? Lanky. Nick Nash had 17 receptions, 225 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Like, blows my mind. And they play tonight. They play Washington State. And if you're trying to bet on that game, Nick Nash's over-under yards doesn't start paying you till like 110 yards. How can we just not shut this kid down? Can we jam him at the line and put a safety over the top? I know. All the talking heads don't like too high safeties. I'm just saying, roll your defense to stop this guy at all times. And there's nobody else on this team that's going to make plays. Justin Lockhart's great. I like him. But this is not a good team. But here you have Emmett Brown slanging the rock. By the way, Emmett Brown was 3rd string at Washington State, quarterback. So for him to transfer in and be the starter, that's cool and all. I know Washington State's got 2 quarterbacks better than you. Just so you know, there's levels to this. Now you know who I'm on tonight. It shouldn't be hard. But they found a way to win. They got it done. Pretty crazy. Kennesaw State just looks bad, not ready for FBS level football. Speaking of not ready for FBS level football, Hawaii, I'm so out on Hawaii and Timmy Chang. When I watch this game, there's only one guy that can play football on this entire team, and it's this guy right here, Ashlock. And Ashlock's going to transfer to fucking Texas next year. Ashlock's going to transfer to Houston. He's going to go back to Texas, the state of Texas. Maybe he goes to USC. I don't know. But he's going to transfer somewhere after this season. He's got no business at Hawaii. He's a great wide receiver. Pofele Ashlock, number 5. You got to watch that dude on tape. He's the best wide receiver, and obviously their star wide receiver got arrested before the season. He has not come back and played yet, so they're undermanned. But forget that. They, on defense, I'm watching a defense that just waits for the player to get to them. Like, they don't attack at all. They're not trying to get a sack. They're not blitzing. They're not effectively stopping the run. They're not getting any tackles for loss. They're not doing anything. They don't even play on that side of the line of scrimmage. It's weird. Sam Houston just literally could just run the rock. Jay Ducker's good. I love Jay Ducker. I told you guys about Jay Ducker when he hit the transfer portal. Late episode on running backs. Jay Ducker hits the transfer portal from Memphis and comes down to Sam Houston. I go, hey, that's a stud. And then he wasn't the starter when he got there because he got there so late. But they saw it at practice. They saw it enough. And here he goes, 15 carries, 150 yards. It's 10 yards a carry, bro. You can't be doing that at the FBS. Is he that good? Sure. But it's Hawaii's defense is just, you got to fade Hawaii's defense every chance you get. This defense, I don't care what kind of stats they have. Turn on the tape. They're fucking catchers, bro. They look like Pudge Rodriguez, Ivan Rodriguez. They're just out there behind home plate just ready to catch shit. That's what they look like. And the only guy that plays any exciting football is Cam Stone. Cam Stone right here, number 4, interception again. Love Cam Stone, Wyoming transfer. He was good at Wyoming. He just decided, I want to go to the island over there. I'm cool, man. I want to play football. Hey, if I can play football anywhere, get me the hell out of Wyoming. There ain't no girls here. Get me to Hawaii. Trust me, there ain't no girls there either. Most of them eating Spam and look like short Mexicans, swollen Mexicans. Anyways, shout out to Samoans. Shout out to Samoa. But I'm just letting you know, this is what we're dealing with. Hawaii sucks. Speaking of sucks, it sucks that Mexico can't find defense, but they cover spreads. They cover spreads all day. Devin Dampier is here. Eli Sanders transferred in from Iowa State really fast. Really fast. I like Eli Sanders. More explosive player out of everybody there. Like him a lot. Luke Wysong is their white hope, man. He's the white wide receiver, always open. They're always going to throw him the ball. That dude's a problem. Look at this game, though. I want to show you guys something in this game. In this game, the players who made the biggest plays for me on tape were players who can play at the Power 4 level. You see Caleb Medford here? These 2 catches for 45 yards. It's really the 1 catch for 41. But anyways, Caleb Medford makes a big play. And the reason he's able to do that, this kid used to play at TCU. Stud, bro. Stud. They have studs at New Mexico. I told you they would cover this spread, and they did. It was a 28-point spread. I said, yeah, they're going to cover that. It's Auburn, but they could score on them. They couldn't stop Hank Brown. They couldn't stop some things. I got it. But they could score. They could score, and they can make plays. I like these guys. Defensively, ugh. Yuck. Ugh. Still, ugh. I'm trying to get it out of my mouth, bro. I'm sorry. No Diddy. Air Force. Worst offense I saw all weekend. All weekend. I watched back this game on Sunday. It was gross. John Busha, never seen somebody play so bad in his life. John Busha was bad. 21 carries, 45 yards. It's crazy, bro. And he broke for 10 yards on one of them. So 20 carries, 35 yards. Do the math on that. 20 carries, 35 yards. It's just, not good. And then they try to throw other guys in, not good. Shout out to Baylor for figuring out DeQuan Finn is not him. But nothing on offense. This is the worst offensive team in America. There's John Busher, 2 fumbles lost. He's bad. Yeah, bad football. And then defensively, they're trying, but they got no help, man. They get tired. They get no help from that offense. It's bad. The only thing worse than Air Force's offense is Cal's kicker. Cal's kicker is the worst I saw. Cal's kicker is a shell of himself. Colorado State, I don't want to say anything too negative. I know they watch my videos. Fucking biggest frauds in the Mountain West, bro. These guys tried to convince me all offseason that they were going to be good. And BFN playing like absolute dog shit. And maybe Colorado's defense is just that much better than you. But terrible, bro. The only thing Braden Fowler and Nicolosi needed to do this season was cut down on interceptions, cut down on turnovers, because he did everything else right last season. And he comes out here and he throws 2 picks. No touchdowns. Nah. Not good. Justin Marshall is good, but I'm not impressed with this team at all. Nothing they're doing. Nothing on defense, nothing on offense. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions. It's crazy. Defensively, yes, Jack Howell's getting a lot of tackles. Just like last year. Jack Howell led the team in tackles. This is a safety, by the way. Strong safety, free safety, Henry Blackburn, and Jack Howell lead this team in tackles all the time. You can't have safeties leading you in tackles. That means the other team's getting first downs. They miss a real pass rush is what they miss. They don't put any pressure on the quarterback. They don't do anything special. Torrey Horton's not healthy, saving himself for the NFL, probably not going to put himself in harm's way. Bad football. Speaking of bad football, there's Wyoming. Svoboda. Trash. Running back game. Trash. DJ Jones, transfer from North Carolina. Trash. Everybody's trash. Offensive line. Or rations. You can say garbage, like hot garbage. You can say however you want to say it, bro. Wyoming, I don't know when they're going to win a game. I remember I told you guys I was going to do that video, and I was going to predict when people were going to win games. The winless teams, the teams that haven't won a game yet, I was going to predict when they finally win a game. I didn't get around to it. I'm too busy. They don't have time to be doing fun stuff like that. Only guy on defense that really pops on tape for me, and even though like they had good games or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Wyatt Eckler, who had a really good, he looked like he was good on tape. This guy right here, Wyatt Eckler, looked good on tape out of the whole team. And then this one really surprised me. I watched this one this morning. I went back and rewatched this game this morning, and I watched it earlier on Monday, but I only watched Cal. Like, I only watch Cal offense, Cal defense. Like, I don't focus on the other side of the ball. It's weird how I watch film, right? I'm only looking at on one side of the ball. I went back to watch San Diego State and actually pay attention to certain aspects of it. And what I noticed with San Diego State is a couple things. Obviously, they're down to some quarterbacks they don't want to play. Remember, O'Neal won their quarterback battle, the true freshman. He's not here anymore. Now we got these other dudes. They don't even want them in the game. Let me just make that clear. So now you're down to like second, third string quarterbacks that aren't really good. You would usually have a guy like William Haskell here, and Haskell ended up transferring to Washington after he got kicked off the team. And who was the other kid who came over here? Purdy? Somebody came over here. Some other kid came, right? So you're really down in the depth chart at quarterback is what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't look like good quarterback play. Marquez Cooper is so used to this offense. He's so good. It's hard to stop him. Little running back, little awesome little dude. Shout out to Quez. Quez Cooper's a beast. Still going to do his thing. They're going to rely on him heavy. This is his 3rd year with Sean Lewis. Now, he did 2 years at Kent State with Sean Lewis. Last year, he was the leading rusher at Ball State. Now he transfers back with Sean Lewis over here at San Diego State. Sean Lewis, the head coach for San Diego State, former offensive coordinator at Colorado. But Quez Cooper knows what he's doing in this offense, and he looks the part. He never out of place, doing everything he can, but the offensive line isn't quite there. Wide receiver room. I talked about it earlier in the week that one of their best wide receivers has really been pushed back on the depth chart because of guys like Lewis Brown showing up from Colorado State, because of Jay-Sean Polk linking back up with Sean Lewis. That's a former Kent State wide receiver who went to West Virginia last year. He's supposed to only be a kickoff return guy, but now they're getting more reps. So when you start seeing new wide receivers get reps, they pushed out other wide receivers. I want to tell you guys, this is that case where I have position coaches playing certain players that aren't the best on the team. And you guys know how I feel about that. I talk about it all the time. The only thing I talk about more is when people tag me on the Discord server in the middle of my live stream, which just happened right now. Can't stand that shit. But that's really what's happening here. I think they're not playing the right players. All in all, defense was amazing. Defense was after it, bro. They were especially in the first half. You're looking at a team that had 6 sacks. Cal better figure that out. Now, Cal can score on anyone. I say that every single week. Cal can get it done, and Cal did get it done in the second half. But that 6 sacks is not an accident, bro. 6 sacks is a scheme. It's taking advantage of something going wrong up front. And I really like that about San Diego State, that their defense was attacking, if you will. Now, the quarterback play was bad, and you can't stop Cal's offense in the second half. You just fell apart. But initially, man, they looked mean. They looked mean. Shout out to San Diego State. That defense is attacking, but there's other problems there. I think there's problems at San Diego State, like internally. The players don't like the coaching staff. It's a new coaching staff. They got to get rid of all the players that aren't theirs. Fresno State. Save the best for last. Number one team out there. What I want you guys to do is anytime Fresno State plays, I want you to check for prop bets and go look for rushing touchdowns or anytime touchdown and see what the payout is for Joshua Wood. Joshua Wood is a backup quarterback. He's an absolute stud. I really like Joshua Wood, and they're starting to bring him in to do these short yardage runs. He had 2 rushing touchdowns because Mikey Keene's tiny. So they'll probably give it to Joshua Wood to score in the red zone. So pay attention to that, okay? Pay attention to it. It's a possibility. Just think about it. If you see it there, sprinkle it lightly. But at the end of the day, Fresno State is amazing. They're out here just taking lunch money. Jalen Moss, you've already saw somebody in chat talk about him earlier. He said he's him and everything. He had 1 catch. Calm down. But Magdalena, 2 catches, leading the team. Raylan Sharp, Missouri State, FCS, stud, transferred in. These are all little guys, man. That's the only problem. They're all short, little, wide receivers. And they got another little guy that transferred in as well. Everybody's just tiny. They need some size to win those one-on-one matchups, but it didn't matter. You're winning 48-0. You're dominating. And you win 48-0, and you don't even got to score in the fourth quarter. Imagine that. They treated New Mexico State like a Power 4 team would treat the MAC. This is a score equivalent to Ohio State versus Akron. I need you guys to understand how terrible New Mexico State is and how dominant Fresno State was in this game. There's Cam Lockridge saying he's going to lead the country in interceptions because he had 2. Everybody relax. Everybody calm down. I still think Fresno State's amazing. So let's look at the matchups real quick before I go back to the chat. Tonight's game, San Jose State, Washington State. Please show up to the live stream. It starts at 10. I will be showing this game, or I won't be showing the game, but I'll be providing live reaction to it. Then Saturday's games. Utah State at Temple. That's an MVP level lock. Eastern Washington at Nevada. I'm going to add it to the lock chart, but I already gave it away for free. I think Nevada's going to cover that spread, -9. Trust. I think Nevada's a very good team, and I think Nevada already played against the best type of FCS players, and they couldn't do anything. So I don't see Eastern Washington doing that to Nevada. UTEP, Colorado State. I'm out on both these teams. I don't like either one. I just don't like them. I can't go there. I'm off on both of them, but I will say this. You got to believe Colorado State can cover that spread. You got to. If they can't cover that spread against a UTEP team that is rebuilding, they suck, bro. Wyoming, North Texas, MVP level lock. Won't talk about it. Fresno State, New Mexico. Fresno's a 13-point favorite after destroying New Mexico State. And it's because New Mexico can score on anybody with Devin Dampier. Give me Fresno State to cover that spread. 13 points too low, bro. Too low. Portland State, Boise. Boise's 41.5-point favorites. It's a big number. That means they don't expect Portland State to even score, really. It's a big number, bro. What are they doing, 14? Yikes. I'm going to leave it alone. Northern Iowa, Hawaii. Hawaii's only 7-point favorites over UNI. Oh, my goodness. I'd have to double-check it. I'm going to double-check it tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm out on Hawaii. Just so we know, I'm out on Hawaii. I do like the under in that game. I do like the under. All right, I'm going to jump to the chat, and then we'll end the show, and I'll take a break, and then I'll see you guys at the live stream tonight. Let's jump to the chat one last time. Interact with this. Usually not a lot of chat after the first go-round. 7:30 can't come fast enough. Need my game live stream tonight. Isn't it the most exciting thing out there? The live stream is the most exciting thing out there. We get excited about the games. Yep, game started 7:30. That's when the live stream starts tonight. I usually start about 7, but I'm going to take a break tonight. I need another hour or so to just kind of recharge. I need to eat some dinner, hydrate, things like that. I'm a teenager, but love the content. They do. Starting early. I like that, man. When I was a teenager, I didn't have content like this to learn from. You know what I used to do? I used to study Beckett's. You guys remember Beckett's? They would tell you how much cards are worth. I used to study Beckett's, and I would read box scores in the newspaper. But Beckett's would tell me what cards were worth money, and I would see a guy go up. I remember, like, I'd see like the price of a card go up. It'd be like Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio, and I'd be like, who the hell are these guys? And that would make me want to look into players more. The Beckett would let me know who the uncommon players were. That's how I learned. I taught myself from random resources out there. So shout out to you. You're starting early, bro. I like it. You're cutting grass, taking all the mental notes. That's 2 free ones. Appreciate you, Rico. Shout out to you, Grass Warrior. Grass Warrior is cutting grass. Go figure. Shout out to you, Forrest. Forrest, go. That Joshua Wood shout feels like a moment you're about to come back to saying you were right. Kairos, that's exactly how it happens, bro. Joshua Wood will be the starting quarterback at Fresno State in a year or two, or he might transfer and become a star somewhere else, and you will remember Joshua Wood because I mentioned him. That is what makes me great. And that is what this channel is all about. So it's a community, plus my commentary is hilarious. Hey, bro, don't run in front of a bus. You will get tired. Get it? You will get tired. Don't run behind a bus. You will get exhausted. Get it? The exhausted. Okay, yeah, I'm hilarious, bro. I'm an MVP now. What up, BBC? Congratulations if you're an MVP. I hope you win a ton of money. Please watch the videos for tonight. You got to scroll down to find the fucking video on Patreon. But I appreciate you for becoming an MVP. Joshua Good looked real nice. Can't wait for him to throw the ball. Donnie, go back and watch his Hail Mary against Collins Hill when he beat Travis Hunter. Hail Mary in high school. State championship game. Washington State champs versus Georgia State champs. They played on ESPN. It's somewhere on YouTube. Throws that shit and Hail Marys it. Go watch that whole game. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. I'll see you guys tonight. Thanks for being here, y'all. Peace.